This is the second step to installing Linux on your own computer. These instructions are macOS specific. If you're using Windows, please watch the other video in this series. If you haven't already downloaded an ISO file for Linux, please go back and watch the first video in this series. We'll need a macOS computer that has the ISO file we downloaded. We need a USB memory stick of at least 4 GB in size and a willingness to erase everything from the USB memory stick. Don't forget to check to make sure your computer has an open USB port so we can plug in the USB memory stick. Have a notebook and a pencil with you to jot down some notes as we go along. And make sure you know the password to your computer. In a critical step towards the end, you have to type it in. We'll be using the terminal.app application. Yep, that means we're going to be typing in commands. Don't worry, if you keep your eyes on the details, everything will be okay and you'll walk away learning something new. Let's find the terminal application. It's in your application folder's utilities folder. Double-click it and there you have it, a terminal window.
You are never alone, Michael. I am your terminal. What is your command?
How does it feel to be using a computer like it was 1975? Before moving on, verify that you have the ISO file and know where it is located on your computer. In my case, I have the file in my downloads folder. Make sure you know where you save the file. Here's a trick to figure out where you have saved your ISO file. Drag the file into the terminal window. The path to the file that we need to know will show up. Write this down in your notebook so you can keep track of this information. Once you've done that, push Control and the C characters or the C keys to get the prompt back. It's time to get the USB memory stick ready. Remember, we need a USB memory stick of at least 4 GB in size and a willingness to erase everything from that USB memory stick. Let me say this again. We're going to erase everything on that USB memory stick. If that memory stick has your baby pictures, advanced potion making ebook, or the meaning of life on it, make sure you back it up or use a different memory stick. All will be deleted. A disk, SSD, or USB memory stick has two different states it can be in when you plug it into your computer: attached and mounted. If I plug my memory stick into the computer, my operating system will first attach the device and then mount it. Once it is mounted, it will appear in the Finder so I can read and write files to it. Oh look, it's my pirated movie collection. Don't tell anyone. Note what the name of your memory stick is. In my case, it is USB memstick, USB MEMSTK. In order for us to burn or copy the ISO file, we have to know its specific device name and unmount the device. You may think we can click on the eject button in the Finder. Wrong move. This will unmount and detach the USB device. In order to unmount the USB device, we shall use the diskutil command line utility. We'll use the terminal again, so get ready. Using the diskutil list command, show all the disks connected to your Mac. Look very carefully through the list to identify your memory stick. You may need to scroll up to see the entire list. I'm using a 32 GB memory stick with the name USB memstick. Looking through the list very carefully, I see that /dev/disk8 is the correct device. I'm going to double check that again. I have a 32 GB memory stick and its name is USB memstick. Yes, it is /dev disk8. Write down the device in your notebook so you don't make a mistake. Pay attention to detail because your data depends on it. If you make a mistake, you'll end up deleting data you did not want to delete. Next, we need to unmount the USB device. Using diskutil again, I use the unmount disk subcommand and the name of the USB device. I wrote down the USB device name in my notebook. In this example, it is diskutil unmount disk /dev/disk8. If everything goes well, I should see a message saying all volumes on disk 8 were unmounted. Second to last step, and the scariest step of all, is to burn the ISO file onto the USB memory stick. We shall use the dd command to copy the ISO file byte by byte onto the USB memory stick. This process may take a while and it is important to double check your work. Go back to your notes and use the location of the ISO file as the input file and the name of the USB device as the output file. We shall use the sudo command to run our command as the superuser. This is where things get dangerous because we are removing any safety features the operating system has to keep us and our data safe. The command is sudo dd bs equals 1m if is equal to /download/ubuntu 20.04.1 desktop amd64.iso OF is equal to /dev/disk8 conv equals sync. Your command may be different depending on where you saved your ISO file and what device your USB memory stick shows up as. Look at your notes and double check the command before moving on. Ready? Push enter, and then you need to type in your account's password. You forgot your password? Don't panic. Push the Control and C keys at the same time. Take a deep breath. Disaster averted. Go find that password, and then we can move on. Oh, you remember your password. Type it in. It won't show you anything. That's normal. Made a mistake? It will prompt you again. You have 3 tries before you have to start all over again. If you're successful, it will look like it is doing nothing. Look at the clock and make note of the time and write it down in your notebook. It is very slowly copying gigabytes of data onto your memory stick, 1 megabyte at a time. On my Mac, it takes about 10 minutes. Yours might be a little faster or a little slower. If it takes longer than 30 minutes, then we have a problem. Don't panic. Push the Control and C keys at the same time. Get in touch with a professor or a trusted friend and ask them to help you debug what's going on. Did you get your prompt back? Congratulations! You have just burned an ISO image to a USB memory stick. The last step is to eject the USB memory stick. We need to use the diskutil command again. Go to the terminal and run the command diskutil eject /dev/disk8 using the device name of your USB memory stick. If you get the prompt back, then everything worked perfectly. Remove the USB memory stick from the USB port and label it with a piece of masking tape or a Post-it. If you see a message and you think something went wrong with the last step, write down the message in your notebook and get in touch with a professor or a trusted friend to help you debug what's going on. It's safe to remove the USB memory stick from your computer at this point. Now you have a memory stick, it's ready to go, and you're ready to install Linux. Well done.